Hey, what's up followers? Dave here from CNC3D. So in this video today, we're going to be taking a look at how you can adjust post-processors or adjust your output of your G-code within CNC3D Design Suite. So for those of you that don't know, CNC3D Design Suite is basically our own CAD/CAM package that we've created. We've got to focus on, I guess, a machining first standpoint. Use as many tools as possible free of charge. You know, you can do full 3D carvings. You can do V carvings and things like that as well, that normally everyone else in the world, as it stands right now, as of the 2nd of July 2026, everyone else in the world has always charged for this traditionally. And look, we offer it completely for free. The barrier to entry here is absolute zero, so you may as well do it. So look, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about how you can customize the output to work with other controllers outside of the Nighthawk. Well, we've also had some questions as well with regards to its compatibility for other GRBL type controllers. So we're just going to take a look at how the post-processor management system works within CNC3D Design Suite, and how you can look at changing things to suit what you want to do. So I'm just going to make a brand new project here. I'm just going to use the default name there. Now, we've just got our basic canvas on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put down just whatever, a couple of shapes here, just so we can get a few things down. Now, it will default to the last mode that you were previously in. So in this case, we're in router mode. So it's just going to try to cut out these pockets here. Now, when you want to go to obviously export these things, so I just need to actually choose this. Let me just put this into beginner mode to make this, or into simple mode, to make things a little bit easier for a lot of you that may be using this for the first time. So we're just going to go ahead, we're just going to pick an end mill here. Let's just do a 4 mil 2 flute straight cut, and we'll just apply that through to these other jobs here as well, or to these other parts that currently didn't have any tools. So when you go to export it, if we were to go up here and go to export, you can obviously choose to export the combined G-code. That's all of the respective tools that you may have in there. Or you can choose to split them up as individual files, depending on what you need, and you can run those different parts of the file. But we're just going to export this together as one job. I'm just going to call it a new project. Now, we're going to upload it through to our controller there. That was all pretty quick. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how you can adjust it. I was actually hoping it was going to do it, but I've set a default here. My post-processor is called Dave. There's a couple of ways you can do this. Now, I would recommend going into Manage. So you guys are just going to have this one here, right? Now, this is basically our default and should work for most people. We're going to go through some of the options that are here, just so you guys can get a little bit of an idea about sort of like how it works. So obviously, because we support different types of disciplines, so laser, plasma, router, you'll notice that this particular factory profile, this is our default. It suits a Nighthawk directly, but you may want to make some mods. As you can see, I've made my own, and literally the only difference between this one here and this one is I've just ticked the spindle control box, because my specific router that I normally use does have spindle control enabled locally. And basically the only thing it does differently is it's going to fire this M3 command, and it's going to fire this dwell command. Now, if this dwell command is 0.0, or is, let's just say, totally 0, then it won't add that in. It'll just fire the M3 and basically allow that to go through. So that's all I've changed. Now, most of you aren't going to have this here, right? So the best thing to do to give yourself a good blank start is to click on our default one and just hit the duplicate button, and that will automatically create a direct copy of it that you can then choose to adjust the name of to suit whatever you would like it to be, and then the functions that you want. Now, a lot of these are shared across a lot of the disciplines. You'll notice a lot of these top numbers are all very similar. But we've tried to give you guys as many options as possible just to make sure it can suit a variety of different machines for you. So, for example, you guys may have like a CO2 laser that wants line numbers on there, like with a DSP controller. Or you may want to, you may have like a different type of plasma cutting system, so you can use our plasma option in here, and obviously adjust these things to suit your specific type of machine that you have. Now, you could obviously just create a completely different post-processor and name that accordingly as well. But at least this way, you could kind of get them all together with sort of what you want to do, if that makes sense. Keep in mind, some of these menus, you need to scroll down a little bit to find them. Like, for example, example, with the tool info that's put in here. What you will find is that a lot of the defaults within here are basically used for things within Commander so that it knows what's what. So that job that we recently added to our controller here, if I go to view this job, you can see here that it says current tool T1, and it tells you in here that it's a 2-flute straight cut for timbers and it's flat. And the reason why is it actually knows that that tool's in there, which means when this visualizer is actually going ahead and running, it'll actually go through and it will use the tool geometry that it knows that it is. So I'm just going backwards in time here just by holding the mouse button down on here. So it actually knows what the tool geometry is and it'll parse that data accordingly. So that's why it's handy. It also populates it when you go into setup/info so that the automatic tool changing system that we have that allows you to do, well, I should say as close to semi-auto as possible that you can have, where Commander will stop, allow you to do whatever you'd like, will notify you of what tool you need, and you're ready to move on to the next step. I will be creating more content coming up in the following weeks where we're going to be creating full jobs within CNC3D Design Suite. We're going to actually be running those jobs with multiple tools and showing you how easy it is to do things. Like, for example, chamfering the edges of things like that is definitely something that you can do. So that's basically how it all works. And so everything's designed to tie in from this default post-processor so that all of these different menus in here will be as closely related to Commander as possible. And of course, if you have a Nighthawk, then everything will work in unison there as well, like when it reports the tool info back, etc. So feel free just to make a duplicate of this default. If there's anything special that you need to put in there, you'll see that there's obviously the start header code. Now, certain things will actually be remembered anyway, which we have done as a safety, and that is all of our jobs are in absolute machine positioning. We do reference the top surface of the stock, so this inherently is a natural thing within CNC3D Design Suite. So we will add a lot of this stuff in here, like the G21 and the G90 will already be put in there, but just in case anything's changed in between, you may see some of these throughout the code. They don't impact the overall result. Obviously, if there's anything that you need to do at any point, like during a tool change, if you wanted to, execute something that happens there, like before or after, we actually fire this tool number. If there's somewhere you want it to go and stage or position, you could type something in here, like say, 57.8. Obviously, depending on what you're doing, we can do it in, I would do that in, say, G53, so machine coordinates. And I would just, obviously keep that as a G90, and then you could call something like this, and it would go to X57.8 at the machine coordinate. Now, I don't want to try to confuse anyone here. I'm just saying that it's quite flexible with regards what you want to set up, but basically all of the standard information here, like the comments and things like that, they're all completely standardized G code. If there's anything you guys aren't sure of, please let us know in the comments. And we can look at trying to improve things as we go. We like to think a lot of these variables are relatively self-explanatory, but obviously, there's always room for improvement. So just give us any feedback on this. Have fun making your own post-processors. Obviously, the reason why we've grouped these as well is if I was to select, I'm just going to select my Dave one here and go update. Now, if you want to switch them, it's a little bit different. So if we click on this drop down at the top where you choose the actual mode, and if you go into router, you can go into post processor, and if you click on the current selected one here, that's where you can choose another one. So if you click on select this post, and what it will do is it will actually remember that for all of your future jobs when you do it in here, so that it should just load this and select this one the next time for you. So obviously that's all you need to do. And if you want to manage them, you can manage them. Now for each different discipline, you have your own post processor type. So you can see that it's just our generic one there. If we go into plasma, we haven't even selected one yet. So let's just go ahead and choose my Dave's one here, which I know is going to be the right one. And so that's how you choose it for each respective type once you've actually set it. Now, the good news is if you try to export on a particular type there that doesn't have anything loaded, like right now, I don't think we had anything in pen knife. So let's switch to that mode there. And if we try to do an export, it says you require a post processor. Would you like to select one? And then you can basically go in here and select the post you want. Now, the good news is, as I said, this should actually persist. I'll just upload it for a bit of fun. Why not? So as I said, this should persist within CNC3D Design Suite, so it'll always load the correct one for you. You are, of course, welcome to, create your own, modify them, do whatever you want. And we do encourage vendors as well that want to use CNC3D Design Suite and they want to give their customers quick and easy 3D carvings and V-photo carvings. If you want to send us through any of your custom post processes, we are more than happy to look at adding them in as a factory one for your users. So just get in touch and we're happy to do that as well if any of the vendors are looking out there. So I hope this video has been informative and explains to you guys kind of how the post processor system works. We have tried to keep this as open-ended as possible. So like your footer, what happens when a job finishes and where it returns to. And obviously your tool list information. Now this here, obviously, if you're using Commander, this is probably the best configuration to keep. So definitely leave that one there as your default value if you're planning on using Commander. And obviously the actual tool change and how that line will look. So if that was tool number 1, it'd come up in there as T1. Or tool number 2, it'd be T2. So that's kind of how it all works, guys. Look, I hope this video has been informative and helps you guys make a better decision about how you can export jobs to suit your specific controllers. Like if you have any special M commands, feel free to add them in at the points when you guys specifically need them. But this is basically a fairly standard grouping of how jobs work. Thanks, guys. I'll be pushing out some more content in the coming weeks, so stay tuned and we'll be in touch soon. Thank you.